Hello, and welcome to the Power of Vulnerability and Leadership, episode 3 of the Pink Unicorns, Peacocks, Pearls, and Prosperity podcast. Welcome, my fabulous unicorns. I'm Shirley, and I'm your guide on this path of empowerment. Today, we're tapping into a hidden superpower, vulnerability. Yeah, vulnerability. Vulnerability often gets a bad rap. It's synonymous with weakness or being overly emotional. But what if I told you, as women, it's actually a potent tool in leadership, fostering trust, and promoting genuine connections? Before we dive deep, here's our peak moment for today, our pink moment. Let's begin with a beautiful quote from Brené Brown. Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Wow, right? As leaders, whether it's at home, work, or within our entrepreneurial ventures, we often feel the need to maintain a facade of perfection. We fear that revealing our struggles will undermine our authority. But vulnerability is about admitting we are human, just like everyone else. And that's where its power lies. But Shirley, how do we get used to being vulnerable? How do we not look weak? We're already women and the world already makes all these assumptions about us. Now we have to be vulnerable? You might be asking. Well, there's no manual for it, but I got you. I have 5 tips to help you with embracing vulnerability. Get your pen and paper because I'm about to start. Speaking with starting, start small. Begin by opening up to a trusted friend, family member, or mentor about a challenge or struggle you're currently facing. Share your thoughts and emotions honestly, allowing yourself to be vulnerable in a safe space. By starting with someone you trust, you'll experience the support and understanding that comes from genuine connections. You also can practice gratitude. Vulnerability isn't just about sharing struggles. It's also about expressing gratitude and celebrating your wins. So take time each day to reflect on something you're grateful for and share it with others. And I know sometimes talking about good things feels like you're bragging. It's not a floss, it's not a brag. It could be as simple as sending a message of appreciation or publicly acknowledging someone who has made a positive impact in your life. The practice builds connections and fosters a sense of shared vulnerability. Talking about the good stuff in your life is good for you and others too. Another way is to embrace imperfections. Recognize that perfection is an illusion, that everyone has their own struggles and insecurities. Allow yourself to be imperfect and embrace your flaws as a part of your unique journey. By doing so, you create an environment that encourages others to do the same, fostering deep connections and authentic relationships. And who doesn't want that in this world of, fake filters and such on social media and all that jazz? We want some real friends, right? We want real relationships and deep connections. Number 4 is share your journey. Don't be afraid to share your experiences, both the triumphs and the challenges. By opening up about your journey, you create space for others to relate and find comfort in knowing that they're not alone. Share the lessons you learned, the insights you've gained, and the growth you've experienced. Your vulnerability becomes a source of inspiration and empowerment for others. Finally, foster a culture of vulnerability. If you're a leader or part of a team, even at home, create an environment that values vulnerability. Encourage open communication, active listening, and non-judgmental support. Set the example by being vulnerable yourself and creating opportunities for team members or the kids to share their thoughts, ideas, and struggles. This culture of vulnerability will foster deeper connections, empathy, and innovation within your team, and believe it or not, within your home. So we've got our 5 tips. It's time for our unicorn moment. Close your eyes and visualize yourself sharing a challenge or struggle with your team or family. Feel the empathy and connection that flows from this moment of vulnerability. This visualization is your window into the strength within vulnerability. Listen, vulnerability fosters deep connections, like I've already said, but it promotes empathy and drives innovation and problem solving in teams. But it's not just about that. It's also about showing your struggles, but it's also about celebrating your triumphs and expressing gratitude and sharing your journey. When you hear it that way, vulnerability sounds totally different, right? It's not just about a moment of so-called weakness or being overly emotional. And now for our peacock moment. You got your journal? All right. Reflect on this. What's one area of your life where you can embrace vulnerability to strengthen connections? Remember, in vulnerability lies strength and the path to authentic leadership. Leadership in your business, leadership of yourself, leadership at home, leadership in the office. I've got a pearl moment for you, my pearl of wisdom for today as we wrap up this episode. But before I give you mine, I just want you to remember that we leave the space available for you to share your thoughts with us as well. Anywho, mine first. Here it is. Vulnerability is the birthplace of connection and the path to the feeling of worthiness. If it doesn't feel vulnerable, the sharing is probably not constructive. AKA it might be complaining or gossip, but that's not for me to judge. Anywho, I'd love to hear your thoughts on vulnerability, your triumphs, your challenges. Please send your pearls of wisdom to yoursuccesswithshirley@gmail.com. Again, that's yoursuccesswithshirley@gmail.com. Now, before we end, I have a bonus golden nugget for you. Let's talk about a common hurdle that many of us face, especially in the entrepreneurial world. One thing I haven't shared is that I'm an introvert. And I know you've heard me already say, probably in the intro podcast, being get scared, right? Well, I got that concept from moments of fear and weakness about being vulnerable online in order to grow my business, about showing up authentically and making connection. So this golden nugget is for you who might have been just like me. The vulnerability of showing up online, especially on social media. Our digital persona can feel like an extension of ourselves, and the thought of criticism or judgment can be daunting. But remember, your authenticity is magnetic, and it is the magic. So I'm giving you a prosperity moment, and I'll also give you an extra pearl today. Let's go with the prosperity moment first. So here's a prosperity nugget for you. Social media is a tool, and like any tool, its impact is determined by how we use it. Use it as a platform for your authentic self, where you can connect, inspire, and engage with your audience. When you think about it like that, does it hurt as much? But by being open and honest about your journey, you make it okay for others to do the same. And this cultivates a community that's not just about transactional relationships, but a space filled with inspiration, support, and meaningful interactions. And we really all could use more of that today, right? Meaningful interactions. So next time you hesitate before hitting post on an authentic share, remember that your vulnerability might be the comfort or courage someone else needs to move forward. Right. So here's my pearl moment, an additional pearl of wisdom for you. Embrace your online space. Share your highs, your lows, your lessons, and your victories. The world needs more realness, more authenticity, more YOU. Sounds like a great way to get more vulnerable online, right? When you focus on the fact that you're here to help someone else, to help give someone permission to be brave and courageous, right? To inspire and be supportive. Now, before we wrap up today's episode, I just wanted to share with you about our community of women who are on the same journey to conquer overwhelm, combat procrastination, and boost their self-worth. And I created this just for you. I'm inviting you to join my Facebook group, The Busy Woman's Best Friend. Here you will find a tribe of incredible women who are navigating and juggling the act of motherhood and entrepreneurship and being a corporate climber just like you. It's a place where we lift each other and share experiences, ask questions, and find support. Join us, facebook.com/groups/The Busy Woman's Best Friend. And it's woman, singular, woman's best friend. So WOMANS, okay? Thank you for joining me today on my podcast, the Pink Unicorns, Peacocks, Pearls, and Prosperity podcast. So grateful for you to have been here, and welcome to the sisterhood if this is your first time joining. Looking forward to talking to you again soon. Have a good today. Bye.